This video is about solving linear inequalities. So up to now, every time that we have solved, we have gotten some kind of integer, either negative or positive, a fraction, or a decimal. But that doesn't always happen when we're solving. So let's look at what happens some other times. So in the first one, we're going to distribute 2 to both sides. So we get, or to both items. So we get 2x minus 8 equals 2x minus 8. Now, usually when we move a variable, we're looking to move the smaller variable. But if you notice, 2x and 2x are the same. So because it's positive, I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides. Those cancel out, and we're left with negative 8 equals negative 8. Now, because no variables are left, but these numbers are the same, this means that we have infinitely many solutions. If you want to abbreviate, you can say IMS. Another thing that we might also call this is all points on the line. In B, we have 4x plus 10 equals 2 times 2x minus 12. So we can distribute the 2. We have 4x plus 10 is equal to 4x minus 24. We can subtract 4x from both sides. Notice it's the same again. So what happens this time is we get 10 equals negative 24. Those numbers are not the same, so they are not equal. So we would call this no solution. So let's look at some examples again of solving, and let's be aware of our two special cases that might happen sometimes. Remember that this doesn't happen very often, but it will sometimes. So in number one, we have 8x minus 3 equals 8x. In order to solve, we're going to subtract 8x from both sides. So we get negative 3 equals 0. That does not equal each other, so this is a no solution. In number two, we have 2x plus 7 equals 12x minus 7. The smaller variable here is 2x, so we're going to subtract 2x from both sides. 7 equals 10x plus 7. In order to get the 10x by itself, I'm going to subtract 7 from both sides. These cancel, so we're left with 0. Now, it's okay to be equal to 0 because we still have a variable here. So this is not a special case. We would just divide by 10, and we would get x equals 0. In number 3, we have parentheses, so we need to distribute. 3 times x is 3x. 3 times negative 1 is negative 3 equals 3x minus 3. Our next step here then is to subtract 3x from both sides. So we get negative 3 equals negative 3. In number 4, because it's negative 3 equals negative 3, this is going to be infinitely many solutions. Okay, in number 4, we have negative 4.4x plus 9.23 equals 2.1x plus 3. So first I want to move my smaller variable, which is 4.4. So we're going to add 4.4x to both sides. So we get 9.23 is equal to 6.5x plus 3. Then we can subtract 3 from both sides. 6.23 equals 6.5x. When we divide by 6.5, because our problem had decimals in it, our answer can have decimals. So when we divide, we're going to round to 2 decimal places. So we would get 0.96 is equal to x. In number 5, on the left-hand side, we have parentheses. So we get 4x plus 48 equals, and on the right-hand side, we also have parentheses, 40 plus 8 plus 4x. So on the right-hand side, we need to combine that 40 and 8, which gets us 48. So we have 4x plus 48 is equal to 48 plus 4x. 4x is the same variable on both sides, so when we subtract 4x, we get 48 is equal to 48. That is true. Those are the same number, so this is going to be infinitely many solutions. Number 6, when I am solving, there is a negative sign outside our parenthesis that we need to distribute. So we get 12.2x minus 4.9x minus 10 is equal to 54.8. Now, if we notice on the right-hand side, we just have a number, but on the left-hand side, we have two x's that need to combine together. So 12.2. Remember when you're combining, you use the sign it has, so we're subtracting 4.9. 7.3x minus 10 is equal to 54.8. We can add 10 on both sides. 7.3x is equal to 64.8. So when we divide, we're going to get a decimal. So we're going to round to 2 decimal places, 8.88. In number 7, we have to distribute the 9. So we have 9 times 2.3, which is 20.7x, and then 9 times negative 1.3, which is negative 11.7, plus 4.5 is equal to 12x plus 13.3 plus 8.1 minus 6.1. So on the left-hand side, we can combine these numbers. So negative 11.7 plus 4.5, we get 20.7x minus 7.2 equals, we can combine our x's. So we get 20.7x, and then we can combine our numbers. So we get positive 7.2. Now, when we subtract 20.7x from both sides, the x's are going to cancel out, and we're left with negative 7.2 equals positive 7.2. A negative can't equal a positive, so this is not equal. This is no solution. In number 8, when we distribute the 4, we get 12x minus 40 plus 2 is equal to negative 38 plus 12x. On the left-hand side, we can combine negative 40 plus 2 is negative 38. So 12x minus 38 equals negative 38 plus 12x. 12x is the same variable on both sides. So when we subtract 12x, those are canceled out. So we're left with negative 38 equals negative 38, which is true. So this is going to be infinitely many solutions. Number 9, on the left-hand side, we have to combine our x's, so we get 10 plus 4x. On the right-hand side, when we distribute, we get 4x plus 24. Both sides have 4x, so when we subtract, we get 10 is equal to 24, which is not true. They're not the same number, so this is no solution. Number 10, when we distribute a half, half of 10x is 5x, half of 8 is 4. On the right-hand side, we can combine, so we get 13x minus 12. So as we are solving, we can subtract 5x from both sides because it's the smaller variable. 4 equals 8x minus 12. We can add 12 to both sides. 16 is equal to 8x. So when we divide by 8, x equals 2.